Hello, hello, hello. No sound detected. Nobody joined yet. Okay, just hang on for a while. Mute and unmute. Um, hmm. Okay. I cannot really hear. Okay. Hello, hello. Is there anyone available to help me do sound check? Like, can you hear me? Someone can hear me. Maybe can type a comment. Or okay, I'm not sure if anyone can hear me. Hi, okay, one can hear. Yes, thank you very much, one. Okay, we just hang on for a while. I will start at 7. All right. Meanwhile, maybe we can. I don't know. Is there anyone that you all got any question to ask? Hope you all had a good holiday. Like Christmas is over, New Year is over. Next upcoming holiday will be the Chinese New Year, right? So I guess everyone is still in like the holiday mood. You all will be in the holiday mood until Chinese New Year is over. Hi, Shiny. Okay, I hope you all can hear me clearly, and I hope you all can like see the picture clearly. Also, if there's any issues, okay, I still have maybe about 3 minutes to rectify them. If not, okay, I hope you all had a good holiday, and will be having a good holiday also. Hi, Faiza. Any one of you all like I okay, you all have been to school for like on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Have you all started on any lesson in school? Like especially the first topic, I think the first topic that you all will do is probably reproduction in animals. I'm not so sure. Anyone started lesson in school already for P5? Okay, people are still joining. Just hang on for a while. We will start in about 2 minutes time. Okay, today we're gonna go through okay, because the ad is there, right? So hold on, let me switch it off. Okay, yeah, today we're gonna go through some term one topics on heredity, okay, and some heat and light revision. Okay, because like today I'm not so sure how much you have already gone through for your reproduction in humans. Okay, but heredity shouldn't be too difficult, right? We can always go through them and learn something out of the questions quickly. All right. Okay, while you are here, of course, um, if you want to download the worksheet, right, you can go to the A Grader website, right, or I think you can link is in the bio, okay, or you can go to agrader.sg/live. Okay, down there you can download the worksheet, all right, for today's live session. Okay, again, if you want to download today's worksheet, you can go to that link to download. Okay, or I think the link is available in the bio. Right. Today we're gonna go through a few questions on heredity and also some just P4 topics on heat. Yeah. All right. Okay. So we just get started with maybe one MCQ first, right? Slowly. Okay. The first MCQ shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, while people are joining. Okay, so hold on, let me just make sure that okay, I can see. Hi, Angel Chin. Yeah, if you if you join my P5 like weekly lesson, weekly tutor live, of course, I hope you recognize me. But some of like the student, like after so long, I still don't recognize you. Like there was one day I think I was working somewhere, then I saw one of my students, but I couldn't recognize her because usually in class they will wear mask. So when outside, when you are not wearing mask, then I was staring at this kid who was staring at me and smiling at me for so long, and then I couldn't recognize. And but I think it's her, but I'm not so sure it's her or not, because if I were to like wave and hi and then she don't recognize me, then it will be very funny, right? Okay, but it's okay. Like, okay, let's quickly go through just one question, right, while people are still joining. Okay, question one. Which one of the following traits, okay, cannot be passed down from one generation to the next? All right, so hopefully by now, you understand what are the traits that can be passed down, what are the traits that cannot be passed down, right? So, number one, fingerprint. Okay, nowadays I think you are not so you don't use your fingerprint that much, but during my time when we want to open a bank account, right, we actually need to use our fingerprint to like set up the account. But nowadays I don't think people do that anymore, right? But the reason why back in the days people use fingerprint to like set up an account, because the fingerprint is actually unique for everyone. Okay, so fingerprint is unique for everyone, so it is not something that is passed down from your parents, right? Like you don't share the same fingerprint as your parents, okay? But the next one, right, the type of eyelids. Okay, I hope you all understand that eyelids, there is the single eyelid and the double eyelid, right? So you all can, there's the single, okay, and the double eyelid. Okay, if you look at your parents, usually if both of your parents are single eyelid, there's a high chance you will have single eyelid. All right, and then usually people will prefer double eyelid, right? Okay, so that's why you got to look at your parents. Okay, I'm not sure if any one of you will have single eyelid, double eyelid. I know there's also like triple eyelid or something like that. All right, so the type of eyelid is, yes, something that you inherit from your parents. Okay, hitchhiker thumb also, right? Some people's thumb is very flexible, right? So if your thumb is very flexible, right, this is something that you also inherit from your parents. Okay, ability to roll tongue is also something that you inherit from your parents. So, okay, in this case, I hope you all can identify that number one. Okay, the fingerprint is not a trait that is inherited from your parents, right, or even from your grandparents. Okay, because there are certain characteristics that will skip one generation, right? So those characteristics are masked, and it doesn't appear in your parents, but that is not always the case. All right. Okay, yes. So, oh, WL. Okay, you're here again, finally. Okay, so the answer will be number one. Where is Asheroy Fu? Okay, who is Asheroy Fu? Okay, any question about what are the traits that can be inherited and what are the traits that cannot be inherited? She's a TikTok girl who comes online. Okay. Hi, hee hee. Okay, I always tell my students that heredity is actually very important, because you want to pay extra attention to um, especially your parents and grandparents, okay, what kind of illness are they suffering from, right? Because there's a high chance that whatever illnesses that your parents or grandparents are suffering from, okay, you might inherit those illnesses also. All right, so that you can pay extra attention. Make sure you do some checks later on as you grow older. Okay, prevention is always better than cure. All right. Okay, we slowly go on to, oops, okay, question 2. Okay, I guess there is no question about the first one. Okay, so we go on to the second question. All right. Okay, table below records some characteristics of, okay, Jenny's parents. So there's a few characteristics, right, about the hair, okay, your height, your earlobe, and your dimples. Okay, height would be more like the texture, right? Not so much about the texture, the color. Okay, not so much about the length, right? Height, typically, if your parents are tall, there's a good chance you will also be tall. Okay, earlobes, there's the attached earlobe and the detached earlobe, right? So hopefully you all know what is attached earlobe and detached earlobe. Okay, dimples is something where you can also inherit from your parents, right? So in this case, if you want to find out which one of the following descriptions of Janice shows the characteristics that she can most likely inherit from her parents, okay, then in this case, okay, we look at the first statement first. Okay, Janice is tall, has dimples, and has short hair. Okay, so tall maybe, right? Short also, I'm not so sure, right? Tall and short, it really depends on who she inherit the characteristics from. Okay, so tall and short is possible for all the 4 options. Okay, but the other one says has dimples. Okay, so because both the parents don't have any dimples, right? So there's a high chance that she would not have dimples, okay, unless it is inherited from like the grandparents, right? Okay, in this case, we will not look too far. Okay, and then after that, we look for the, okay, length of the hair definitely is not something that you want to look at, right? So length of the hair is not something that is inherited because you can cut your hair. Okay, typically boys will have short hair and then girls will have long hair, right? Especially if you're in a school. I mean, girls can also have short hair, but just saying typically. But for boys, I think if you're in a primary school or secondary school, definitely you will have short hair, all right? Okay, and then we look at option 2, right? Okay, tall, short, no dimples. Okay, detached earlobes. Okay, but in this case, if you look at the earlobes of both, okay, Jenny's mother and father, okay, both are attached earlobe, right? So this is something that probably she did not inherit from her parents. Oh, okay, so it says inherit from her parents, right? Okay, and then option 3, okay, has dimples, right? So I think dimples over here is also a clear sign that, okay, option 3 is out, all right? So brown hair, okay, where did she get the brown hair from? Okay, I want to look for the brown hair is from the mother, all right? Okay, Foxy, unfortunately, there is no Kahoot for this week. I think Kahoot for me, let me think. Next week will be, okay, next week is not me, okay, but next week is also science. So my next week, okay, next week is my my life. There will be Kahoot, I think, right? Okay, so once you are clear which are the characteristics that cannot be inherited from the parents, okay, just look through the information over here clearly. Don't make any careless mistake, right? You should be able to realize that Janice inherited the height from the mother. Okay, no dimples is from both, right? And then brown hair is also from the mother, all right? Okay, so it should be option 4. Okay, so hopefully your pick option 4. Yes, there is also live tomorrow at 6:30. Foxy, okay. So there will be live on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, if I am not wrong. I think I missed out one day. Okay, let me just check. Okay, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday also. Okay, so yesterday was English, today is me science, so tomorrow is again English at 6:30, right? So Friday there will be maths. All right. Okay, any question? Ella, what subject? This is science. Hopefully you realize we're talking about science, not talking about mathematics. Okay, but user 3543334186521. Okay, I am not sure who you are. Maybe you can change to some actual name. Okay, then I can recognize you. Okay, happy that you're back, but I want to recognize you also. On next live tomorrow will be English. Okay, actually I have a banner for it. Okay, hold on. There. Okay. 6:30. It will be on vocab. Okay, MCQ close, synthesis and transformation. All right. Mathematics. Okay, hold on. Okay, coming Friday is a P6 mathematics live. Okay. Yes. P6 mathematics live on Friday. I don't know which day is the Kahoot. Was it yesterday or something? Okay, if you all did not manage to catch it, then too bad. Okay, but unfortunately today there's no Kahoot. All right. Okay, we quickly go through one more question. All right, let's go to question 3. Okay, today there's no Kahoot, so we can spend a bit more time to go through more questions. All right. Okay, let's go through question 3. Study Eva's family tree below. Okay, I hope you all know how to read a family tree. So typically there will be a key over here for you to know which one is the male, which one is the female. Okay, so typically the square represents the male. Okay, the circle represents the female. Okay, but in this case, the ones that is shaded right represents a certain characteristics P. Okay, I'm not so sure what is characteristics P. Okay, like just now I was talking about, it might be a certain sickness or illness, right? So we always want to pay attention to, okay, what kind of characteristics we inherit from our parents or grandparents, right? Okay, so in this case, we want to pay attention to A first. Okay, A is the male that inherited, okay, the certain characteristics P, and then it passed down to E. All right. So over here, you see that although C do not have it, right? But if you see the children of C and D, because C and D will form a family, and they have 2 kids, right? Eva and H. Okay, and then both of them also inherited the characteristics. Okay, and then if you look at the other side of the family tree, okay, there's only one children, okay, that inherited the characteristics P. Angel, okay, I'm not so sure because I need to finish the question first. Okay, Creative Kayla, this is P5 science, right? Of course, P6 you can also listen through, and this will provide you with a good revision also. All right. Okay, the question is asking, based on the family tree above, who did Eva inherit characteristics P from? Okay, so Eva is here. Okay, so if you were to trace the family tree, okay, we will trace to A. All right, so she will definitely inherit it from A. Okay, probably not E. So the question is, how come it is not present in C, right? Because remember, certain characteristics can skip a generation, all right? So Eva will inherit the characteristics from, okay, A. All right, the answer is number 1. Just now, who was saying number 1? Okay, yeah, you are correct. Okay, I think it is Angel, right? Okay, no Kahoot, no cap. Yep. unfortunately, I know a lot of you are looking forward to the Kahoot, but if you join the Kahoot, there's only like 3% out of the many the many people who join. Like there stands a chance to win. Okay, so I hope y'all come here and maybe learn something. Right, that will probably be a good reward also to learn something and to improve your science. Right. Yeah, Kahoot I think is fun. So there's Kahoot. No, there's no Kahoot today. Okay, Kayla. So sorry, but yeah, there will only be one Kahoot for every week. So hopefully y'all can catch it. Okay, and don't be sad. I mean, we can always learn something from science. Okay. Okay. When is the Kahoot? Okay, I'm not so sure when. All right. I mean, I can check, but I don't want to check because I want to keep you all suspended. Like, I want you all to join every live, and then just to find out when is the Kahoot. Oh, Crystal, hi. I hope you have recovered from your was it fever or something? Okay, I know that a lot of kids are down right this week, especially. I think because you all eat a lot of goodies across the New Year, Christmas, and all that. Eat a lot of snacks. That's why you all fell sick. Have a lot of fun. That's why you all fell sick. That's why it's good for you all to go back to school. Go back to school, and then once you all start to study, you all don't fall sick anymore. Then your parents will have an easier time. Is that the case? You don't eat sweets, but I'm sure you eat like a lot of other things that are sweet, like chocolate or whatever, right? Or bubble tea. I'm sure you drink bubble tea also. Okay. Okay, you're coming this Saturday. Good to hear that. Okay, yeah. Okay, go for the replacement lesson. I think that will be good. All right. Okay, again, we just go through one more MCQ, right? Slowly but surely. Okay, we just go through one MCQ. You don't drink bubble tea. Are you sure? I mean, I don't drink bubble tea because I'm old lah. Okay, because all this bubble tea is bad for my health. Okay, but you are like a young kids, so I think one or two bubble tea will not hurt you because you also have like PE, right? Your exercise and all that, your run around. Okay. Okay, let's go through question 4. All right. So Jasper blew air into a balloon and tied it tightly. Okay, so we can see the balloon. Okay, it's a happy birthday balloon. Right, inside there's air. Okay, it points to the material of the balloon. I'm not so sure what's the material. Probably is rubber, right? Okay, he left the balloon tied in a pole under the hot sun. Okay, so left the balloon tied to a pole under the hot sun. Okay, once I see under the hot sun, I roughly know what direction this question is going. Okay, after a few hours, he noticed that the balloon became bigger. Right. So once you see this question right under the hot sun, there's a lot of heat. Right, became bigger. Why did it become bigger? Because it gained heat and then expand. Right. Okay, what's the thing that expand? Probably it is the air, right, that expand. Okay. Okay, because the air will expand faster than the balloon, itself, right? So okay, air expands faster, that's why it will become bigger. I'm not sure if you experienced this before or not. If you bring a balloon into a very cold place, the balloon will also start to become smaller. Okay, so this question is about heat. Hopefully you are already very good in your heat because you are in P5, P6 already, right? Okay, so which of the following correctly, okay, which of the following is the correct explanation, right? Is it number 1? The air in the balloon, okay, once you see the word lose heat, right? So it's not about losing heat, right? The air should gain heat. Okay, so this one is wrong. Okay, because if it lose heat, then it will not, I mean, lose heat and contract, yes, okay, but in this case, it became bigger, right? So over here says it became bigger. So there's no way it will lose heat and contract, right? Because lose heat and contract will become smaller. Okay, some of y'all, I think a lot of y'all type option 2. Okay, air in the balloon gains heat from the surrounding and expanded. Okay, yes, gain heat, expand. That is what we are talking about, right? Okay, gain heat, expand. So the balloon became bigger. Okay, but we still need to go through option 3 and 4 and then figure out what is wrong with option 3 and 4. Right. Number 3 says that the material of the balloon loses heat to the surrounding and contracted. Okay, so this is not the case for, okay, material loses heat to the surrounding, okay, because it is under the hot sun. All right, so if you're standing under the hot sun, I don't think you will be losing heat. I think you want to get out of there and go into aircon room or go under the shade, right? Okay, if you're standing under the sun, you are definitely gaining heat. Okay, so the material will definitely not, okay, will not lose heat. And then option 4, just now I saw someone pick number 4, right? Material of the balloon gains heat from the surrounding and expanded. Okay, although this is true, right? Material, okay, yeah, sure, the material definitely gain heat and the surrounding expanded, okay, from the surrounding and expanded. Okay, but there's something you all probably don't know because it's not taught at this level, but in this case, okay, the air will, okay, expand, okay, faster, okay, than the material. Okay, so that's the reason why it will become, the balloon became bigger. All right. Okay, so number 4 is wrong in the sense that the air will expand faster, and also of course number 2, if the material itself expand, then it will not really become bigger. It will just become like, if the air doesn't expand, then it will not push against the balloon to make it bigger also. All right. So I think a lot of you already know the answer. Okay, answer is number 2. But any question? There's no need to spend the answer, but anyone got any question, maybe you can ask and then we can discuss. We can go through. Okay, if not, no. Okay, everyone good? Clear so far? Okay, why is it not 4? Oh my goodness, Crystal, I like talk so much already, explain so much, then suddenly you ask me why is it not 4? That means you were not listening when I was explaining. Okay, Faisal also. Okay, like just now I was saying number 4, yes, although number 4 is true. Okay, the material of the balloon definitely will gain heat. Okay, and then the surrounding will, okay, the balloon, the material of the balloon definitely will gain heat from the surrounding. It will definitely expand. Okay, but the problem is the air inside the balloon will expand faster. All right, so that's why the balloon became bigger. Okay, imagine if you stand under the sun and your clothes gain heat and expand, right? It's just your clothes getting bigger, but your clothes will be very loose, right? But if you stand under the sun and you became bigger, but your clothes don't become bigger, then you will become very like tight, and it becomes very big, right? So it is not about your clothes getting bigger or smaller. It is about you, right? Getting bigger or smaller, or in this case, it is the air inside the balloon becoming big, like not becoming bigger. Okay, the air inside the balloon expanding. Why is it 2? Yeah, it's because the air gain heat and expand. 1. All right. Any more question? No. I think I better move on before you all ask me more question. If both also correct, then it's a bad question. Not exactly. Okay, because both are okay, number 2 is correct for the context of the question. Okay, number 4 is correct, but it's not applicable in this case. All right. So there's a lot of things that are correct. I can also put down an option that says a dog has 4 legs, right? That is correct, but I'm sure you're not gonna pick that option, right? Okay. So let us move on to question 5. I think question 5 is also quite interesting. Nicholas wanted to find out if, okay, air is needed for seeds to germinate. Okay, I'm sure by now you should know what are the conditions for germination, right? So one of the conditions, not one of the conditions, sorry, the 3 conditions for germination. Okay, I hope you all remember is your WOW, okay, which is your water. Okay, oxygen, okay, and then warmth. All right, so these are the 3 conditions for your for the seeds to germinate. Okay, so there are 4 setups here. Okay, the conditions are water, light, air, and temperature. Okay, I'm sure you know that seeds do not need light to germinate, okay? But of course, light provide warmth. Okay, which 2 setups should Nicholas use to conduct a fair test? Alright, so in this case, he wants to investigate, right, to find out if air is needed for seeds to germinate. Okay, so in this case, the air, okay, must be the changed variable, right? So you need to look for one setup that has air and the other setup without air. Okay, I see a lot of y'all tell me it's option 3, so thank you very much. I will keep a lookout for option 3. Then let me talk about why 1, 2, and 4 are wrong. Okay, but if you want to narrow down your options quickly, right, there's something that you need to realize, that is this part here, right? For light, there's no need to look at this option, okay, because all of them are 50, so there's no need to look at light, okay? You just look at water, air, and temperature. But of course, you need to pay extra attention to light. You need to pay extra attention to air, right? Because that is the changed variable. Okay, a lot of you are picking like number 3, right? Number 3 is talking about B and C. Okay, if you look through B and C, yeah, okay, water is the same, okay, light is the same, temperature is the same, all right? Only setup B, air is present. Setup C, air is absent, right? I think that is a very good chance. I think most of you are probably correct. B and C is the correct answer, but okay, let's find out why A and B is wrong. Okay, if you look at A and B, okay, wow, now then I realize setup A is like a very bad setup, because no water, no air, like, and then it's cold. Okay, so probably the seed in setup A is like very poor thing. Everything also don't have. Okay, so yep, definitely you will not want to pick option 1. Okay, because option 1 there is like 1, 2, and 3 changed variable, right? So hopefully none of you, okay, I think none of you picked option 1. Okay, but someone was asking why is it not number 2, right? Okay, let's take a look at number 2. Okay, A and B. Okay, same thing. If you look at A and B, okay, the thing that you got to look at is both A and B, no water. Okay, so in this case, A and B, and also both are also cold, right? So both also no water, and no warmth. Okay, so both the setup will not germinate, and then you will not get any results. All right. Okay, we know the answer is number 3, but what's wrong with option 4, C and D? C and D, if you look at it, same thing. There's like a 1, 2, 3 changed variable. So okay, I'm not so sure like what is the like variable we're trying to investigate. Okay, with 3 changed variable, I don't know what to look at. Right. So remember, in the fair test, there can only be 1 changed variable, right? Okay, so as long as you're very clear about your experiment, right, I hope by now you are clear about what is a changed variable, measured variable, what is a constant variable. Okay, as you read through the question, you will be able to pick out what is the changed variable very quickly. In this case, the measured variable is, of course, you want to observe if the seeds, did they germinate or not. All right, so the correct answer will be, what do you all say is option 3, yes. Okay, very good. Okay, yes, Ella, good, you get it. All right. Okay, before we move on to the OEQ section, let me catch a bit of drink first, and then I'll just see if you all have anything to talk about. Okay, it looks like there's not much question. Actually, there's no question at all. Okay, then okay, so no question, I guess that is a good thing. That means all of you are very smart, already know your stuff, right? Okay, we move on to the next part, right? The section booklet B, right? The OEQ section. OEQ section is probably the part where you might have more questions. Okay, because for question 6, we are doing something about reproduction. So I don't know how many of y'all have already like started lesson in school. Okay, but question 6, right? Okay, look at the diagram below. Okay, if you have already gone through the reproduction in animals, okay, those who are attending lesson in A grade, of course, we have already gone through reproduction in animals, right? You will be able to recognize these two. Okay, Y is pointing to the sperm cell. Okay, X is pointing to the egg cell. Okay, egg cell is definitely from the female. Okay, and then the sperm cell is from the male. But part A is asking you to name the parts that produce the human reproductive cells, X and Y. Okay, so you need to name what is the part of the reproductive organ that produces them. All right. So for X, the egg cell, okay, it is produced by the ovary. Okay, and then for the male, the sperm cell is produced by the testes. Yep. Okay. So usually, right, by the time when we are talking about the reproduction in humans, right, suddenly the students become very engaging, and they have a lot of questions. All right. Okay. Remember to watch WL's live at 8 p.m. Although I don't know what your live is about, but I'll just give you a shout out, WL, since you're like our very regular student that always join our live. Okay. Let's move on to part B. Okay, part B, study the family tree below carefully. Okay, so this family tree consists of like there are two separate family. Okay, so the square represents the male again. Okay, circle represents the female. So in this case, for the family on the left, there are let me see, 3 children. Okay, the family on the right side, there are 4 children. Okay, nowadays we don't have families with so many children anymore. But in this case, you have to pay attention to this and this, okay, because they got together and then they set up another family, all right, which is what May is part of. Okay, so May will have a sister and a brother. Okay, although I don't know who is the elder one, who's the younger one. Okay, but we move on the question first. Okay, the question wants you to put a tick in the correct boxes to indicate if each statement is true, false. Okay, there's no not possible to tell. Okay, so number one is asking, number one is saying May has 2 siblings. Okay, so May is over here. Yep. Okay, so May has 2 siblings. Yes, 1, 2. All right. In fact, she have a one sister and one brother. All right. So this is true. Okay, what about the second? Okay, I hope you all can see. Okay, let me scroll up a bit. Okay, the second statement says that May has a total of 2 aunts. Okay, May, right? So let's see, May 2 aunts. Okay, so we got to look at this is 1, this is 2. Okay, so looks like yep. Okay, let me just label it for y'all to. Okay, this is aunt. Okay, pardon my handwriting. Okay, aunt 1, and then this is aunt 2. All right, so yes, I don't see number 3. Right, so second statement also true. Okay, then okay, clear so far. Let's move on to number 3. Okay, May's father has two sisters and a brother. Okay, May's May's father is over here. Okay, let me shade. Okay, May's father is over here. May's father has two sisters and one brother. Okay, but I think this is wrong because May's father, okay, has two brother and one sister. Okay, so this is wrong. It is the other way round. Okay, so this is two brother, okay, one sister. Okay, I write short form because I don't have enough space. All right. So number three, the third statement is false. Okay, then the last statement, okay, there are more females than males in May's family tree. Okay, so this one we're gonna make a count. Okay, so maybe I can highlight okay, let me erase these. Okay, and then I am going to highlight, okay, maybe blue for the male. Okay, so male, male, male. Okay, so it's easier to see. And then maybe red for the females, right? Okay, so this is okay, and then we make a count. Okay, so we can see how many males are there. There is like 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then for the female, there's 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 male, okay, 7 female, right? So 7 male, okay, 7 female. Okay, so this statement is wrong. All right. Okay, there's equal number of male and female. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully you're really is that hardworking and really go and count everything. Okay. Okay. So far, I hope you all are not like confused by the family tree. I think the family tree is not too difficult, right? It's just identifying, tracing the path. Okay, identifying the relationship. Sometimes they will tell you a certain characteristics that is inherited. Okay, downwards. All right. Okay. Any question? Okay, if not, we can move on to the next question. All right, question 7. Okay, question 7. Jasper conducted an experiment using the setup below. He measured the temperature. Okay, so he measured the temperature of material X. Okay, and placed material X in the beaker of, okay, water at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, 100 degrees Celsius is like boiling water, right? So it's very hot. Okay, he then measured the temperature of, okay, measured the temperature of, okay, material X over 30 minutes, okay, with a data logger. So now we know what is the measured variable, right? The measured variable is the temperature, okay, over 30 minutes. Okay, next he repeated the experiment with material Y and Z. Okay, so in this case, the changed variable is the material, right? Material X, Y, and Z. He recorded the results, okay, in the graph below. Okay, so if you look at this graph over here, right, you should realize, okay, a few points. That is, number one, the starting temperature is the same, right? So this is a constant, right, in order for it to be a fair experiment. Okay, and then if you look at material X, Y, and Z, right, if you look at the graph, X, okay, is the one that is the highest. Okay, Y is the lowest. Right, so typically when we look at a graph, okay, I always tell my students to just look at the highest one. Okay, and then you also want to pay attention to the lowest one. All right, so what does the highest and lowest tell you? Okay, at the end of, like, for example, over here, 30 minutes, right? Because temperature Y is the lowest, so probably you should realize by now that material Y is a poor conductor of heat, right? And then material X is like the best conductor of heat, right? So this is a poor, okay, conductor of heat. Okay, material X is probably the best, okay, conductor of heat, okay, because the material will gain heat, right? So the material will gain heat from the surrounding. Okay, and then the temperature will start to increase. right? And then the data logger will capture all these temperature change. Okay, then next part of the question, right? Before the start of the experiment, Jasper measures material X, Y, and Z, and then he ensures that the materials are, all of them are at 28 degrees Celsius. Okay, so this is to ensure that it is a fair test, so that they start at the same temperature. Okay, for part A, give a reason why Jasper had to measure the temperature of the materials at the start of the experiment. Okay, so this one I've already mentioned, right? It is to ensure that it is a fair test, okay, because you need to ensure that the starting temperature of the materials are all the same, okay. So just write down, this is to ensure, okay, a fair test, right? So that the okay, so that the starting temperature, okay, of the materials, okay, are the same. Okay, so when looking at it and when looking at the experiment, right, other than picking out the changed variable and the measured variable, okay, you must also learn to identify the many constant variables. Okay, there are many constant variables that you need to make sure you pay attention to also. Make sure they are not different, they are the same, so that it is a fair test or fair experiment. All right. Okay, we move on to part B. Okay, Jasper wanted to make a cup to keep his hot tea warm for the longest period of time. Okay, if you want to keep your hot tea warm, you definitely do not want you do not want it to lose heat, right? So you want to pick the poorest conductor of heat. So you should know which material to pick, right? Because we have already identified which one is the poorest conductor of heat, right? Earlier on. Okay, remember, don't need to spend too much time to look into each and every data. We typically just pay attention to like the highest and the lowest. All right. So based on the experiment, which material is most suitable for making a cup to keep his hot tea warm? We already know that we should pick material Y. Okay, but of course, explaining is the part that I think a lot of students struggle with. Okay, so remember when you're explaining, okay, let me just write down the choice first, which is material, okay, Y. Okay, remember, regardless of how you or what answering techniques you are using, okay, typically all the answering techniques work in the same way, right? You must talk about the evidence, right? So describe the result, okay, describe what you see from there, okay, then use a certain science concept to explain, all right? Then at the end, you can conclude your answer or link it back to the question, all right? The question in this case is, why do you want to use a certain material, okay? So I am going to explain by talking about the graph first, all right? Because from the graph, okay, I saw that the increase in the temperature, okay, I'm gonna squeeze it a bit. Okay, over, okay, 30 minutes, okay, is the least, okay, for Y. Okay, so what does this show, right? So if you can continue to say that, okay, let me change the color. Okay, what does it show? Showing, okay, that okay, it gains heat Okay, the slowest. Okay, and so you realize that okay, it is the okay, poorest okay conductor okay of heat. Okay, so once you are able to write this down, right, you already wrote down like your okay, you already described the graph, you already talked about the science concept, right? So now we just need to link it back to the question, right? So in this case, okay, so this okay allows okay his hot tea to lose heat. Okay, the slowest okay, and okay keep warm okay for the longest time. All right. Okay, so pay attention to um, a few important points. Number one, you need to talk about the increase, right? Is the least. Okay, what does it show? Showing that it gains heat the slowest. And of course, the main idea is it is the poorest conductor of heat. Okay, a lot of students you all have this habit of straight away writing down. Okay, material why? Because it is the poorest conductor of heat. Full stop. Okay, so that is not going to be enough for you to earn a lot of marks lah, right? So you have to in science you really have to know what you need to talk about in order to earn the marks. Okay, let me catch a drink. Okay, let's move on to the next part. Okay, I think I guess there's no question from you all or any question. If no question, I will move on to the next part. Okay, next part is also like a very typical question. And if you are always ordering like hot drinks, I think nowadays coffee shop they also have this kind of cup sleeve, right? Oh, you're still copying. Sorry. Okay, Faizal. Okay, let me just leave it here. Okay, for you to see first. Okay, yes, Faizal. Let me know when you're done. Okay, so I can move on to the next part. Any one of you have like siblings that's getting their O level result on this coming 10th of January? 10th is like on a Friday. No, none of you have like siblings in Sec 4 who took O level. Your cousin. Oh, okay. Hopefully, Crystal, your cousin will be able to do well and get into whatever your cousin wants to get into, right? Okay, O level is actually a very important examination which you are gonna take next time also. Okay, so PSLE is still okay. PSLE is kind of like just a ticket for you to get into a good school. Okay, but O level is like a really a ticket for you to choose okay what courses you want. I guess she's gonna do well because she's the top of the school. Oh, okay, yep. But then I'm sure she will have certain expectation also. Hopefully, she will be able to like hit her expectation. All right. Okay, I guess Faisal should be done. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next question. All right. Okay, let me continue with this question. Okay, Jasper added a cup sleeve to protect his hand from the heat, okay, from the hot tea as shown in the diagram below. Okay, if you look at the diagram, right, it looks very pointy, very sharp, but it's not sharp, right? So in this case, there are like number one, air spaces. Okay, so remember air is a poor, okay, conductor of heat. Okay, number one, and number two also, okay, this will also help to reduce, okay, surface area in contact with your, okay, with his hand. All right, so reducing surface area, then you will not gain heat that quickly. All right, so typically if the question wants you to explain how the cup sleeve helps to protect his hand from the heat, okay, from the hot tea, we typically talk about the surface area. Okay, it reduces surface area in contact with the cup, that way, okay, reducing heat gain from the hot tea. All right, so okay, let me write down the answer. Okay, so remember this concept, it reduces surface, okay, like exposed surface area, okay, surface area that is in contact, okay, with, okay, the cup. Okay, in this way it will help to reduce, okay, reducing heat gain, okay, from the, okay, hot tea. Okay, so I don't think any one of y'all are like into hot drinks. Typically, young kids like y'all like cold drinks, right? So unless you're like uncle like me, then I like hot drinks. Okay, that's why then this one will be something that can protect my hand when I drink my hot coffee. Okay, done. Let me just move on to question 8. Okay, let me just leave that on top so that if you want to copy, I think you still can see. Okay, okay, let's continue with question 8. If the coffee is bitter, then you add more sugar lah. Okay, but same thing, like older people like bitter coffee also. Oh yeah, it's still, is it still visible on top? Okay, I think it's being blocked by a certain, let me scroll it down a bit. Okay. Okay, meanwhile, let me just read through question 8. Okay, so Jenny conducted an experiment in a dark room, so very typical. If it is an experiment about light, you want to conduct it in a dark room to ensure that it is a fair test, right? So she shone a torch through liquid tube. Okay, I think yeah, in this way. Okay, so she shined the torchlight through the liquid, and then the amount of light passing through the liquid cube, okay, is being detected by a light sensor, okay, connected to a data logger. So this question is pretty straightforward, right? It's a question on light. Okay, there's a torch, and then she recorded the amount of light that's passing through the liquid. Okay, again, very clearly stated the measured variable, right? It is stated inside the hold on. Again, it's saying that I am inactive. Okay, so I need to drag this tab. Okay, yeah, I am active. Okay, take out. Yeah. Okay, so she then repeated the experiment with liquid R, S, and T. So we know that the liquids R, S, and T are the changed variable, right? Okay, and then recorded her observation in the graph below. Okay, so from the graph, we can clearly see that this one is, again, remember, just now I was telling, okay, identify the moles. Okay, and then this is the like least. This is totally zero, right? So this in this case is the least. Okay, so you got to pay extra attention to like this, maybe T. I don't know what the question is going to ask later on. Okay, S is probably transparent. Yep, and then Q and R is probably translucent. And then T is like totally black, opaque. Okay, don't know what kind of liquid is totally black, but I don't want to know. So okay, but we move on to the next part A. Right, state a variable that you need to keep constant for his experiment to be a fair test. Okay, so there's a lot of variables that you can keep, right? Okay, one of the variable that's already mentioned is the location, right? Location is the dark room. Okay, and then some other variables will be like maybe the distance from the torch and the, okay, glass. All right. So if you want, you can also talk about let me think, the thickness of the beaker. Okay, I think that one is probably not so important. Okay, but the most important one is probably the distance either from the torch to the beaker, or you can say distance from the torch to the light sensor. Okay, but I think it'll be easier to say distance from the torch to the beaker. Okay, so the variable that I will pick will be the distance that is between the torch and the clear glass beaker. Okay, and then the next question is asking you, okay, explain why we need to use a clear glass beaker, right, instead of anything else. Like, it would not make sense if you use a beaker that is translucent, right? Then you will not record the amount of light that passed through the liquid very accurately. All right. So this is definitely, you want a clear glass to make sure that the material of the glass, okay, will not block, okay, will not block the amount of light, so as to make sure that, okay, it is like the results that you record is accurate. Okay, so we can say first that, okay, did I zoom in? Okay. Okay, so a clear glass, okay, will not block, okay, any light from the torch, okay, that is, will not block any light from the torch. Okay, okay, let me just make sure my English is okay. Okay, from shining, okay, through the, okay, liquid. All right, so in this case, the amount, okay, of light that is measured, okay, is gonna be like only affected by, okay, light passing, okay, through the liquid. Okay, so hopefully you all understand, okay, what is the importance of like certain variable in an experiment. All right, I will slowly scroll up, okay, so that the rest of you all can still copy if you want to. Yeah, I will just make sure I don't block the last question. Okay, yeah, Ella, so hopefully you're able to copy this part. Okay, so while you are copying, you can also listen up to me because I'm just going to read through the question, all right? Okay, liquid QR and S and T, they are samples of sea water collected from different areas, okay, where different people snorkel in. Not sure how many of y'all been and tried snorkeling. I have not tried snorkeling, but that is maybe something that I would want to try because it looks fun. Okay, so okay, based on the graph, which liquid, right, which liquid QRS and T is best for people to snorkel in, so that they can see the marine animals clearly. All right, so you definitely know which liquid to pick, right? So we probably want to pick this, right, the highest one, because that shows that the liquid is the clearest. Okay, so I'm gonna write down liquid S first. Okay, so when it comes to explaining, same thing. All right, I will first state what I see. Okay, so in this case, I saw that, okay, the amount, okay, of light that is detected, okay, by the sensor, okay, is the highest. Okay, so what does it show? It show that, okay, S is the clearest, okay, and allows, okay, most light to pass through. Okay, then that is going to be probably the best, right? Because when you are snorkeling, right, you want the most amount of light. Okay, then most amount of light can be reflected off the animals into the eyes of people that is snorkeling. Okay, so remember, oops, I think, okay, I need to push it up a bit. If not, you all cannot see the bottom. Okay, remember to talk about, okay, the amount of light detected is the most, right, or is the highest, is the greatest, right? So what does it show? It shows that it is the clearest, and then allows most light to pass through. Okay, this way you will be able to see the animals clearly because, okay, most light can be reflected off the animals. Okay, let me use yellow instead. Okay, reflected off the animals into the eyes of the person, of the people that is snorkeling. All right. Okay, so hopefully you have learned a thing or two, right, going through this live. Then in this case, your time spent here will not be wasted. Hopefully, you enjoyed the lesson. Also, Foxy, yeah, we are done. I believe this is the last question already. I will just hang on a few more minutes for those who are still copying, right? Yeah, there's no more question already. Yes, okay, don't worry, Faisal, I'm still here for you to copy. Okay, I will not just cut off. All right. This is, yeah, Ronan. This is already the last question, so I don't think I have any more questions to go through. Yeah, of course, you can leave as and when you want to. This is a TikTok live, right? Okay, remember to join the next live tomorrow also. It will be English, right? So remember, it will be P6 English. Those who are taking PSLE this year, it will be, I think, a good idea for you to attend the English live. All right. The next time I see you will be next week. Okay, I think we will be going through reproduction in humans. So very interesting topic. Right, I'm sure a lot of y'all will be paying extra attention during the next lesson where we are going through reproduction in humans. Okay, hopefully by that time you have already also gone through that topic in school. Okay, and then when you join, then you can maybe share with me what you have learned in school. Oh no, there's no P3 live. Only for science, I can only speak for science, right? There's only P5, P6. Okay. P3, yeah, P3 should be like playing, like having fun, right? So you ask a P3 to sit in front of a TikTok live, I don't think they will be able to sit still. Okay, I guess everyone should be done, right? Okay, so remember the next live, all right? And then I guess I'll see you and again. Okay, bye bye. Bye.